And so what do you think is the market for such kind of film in Indian audiences? Like a film like Mr. Doubtfire.
It is, thanks for saying like Doubtfire, because people are calling it Doubtfire. Yeah. It is, the similarity ends there. And half of India has accepted it. I don't see why the other half shouldn't.
And how many more adventures will Kamal Haasan himself try despite so many things?
As long as my age and my imagination allows, I'll keep trying. I think the makeup plays a very major part. And then when you don the makeup, you'll have to present yourself. And the costumes done by my wife is also a very difficult situation. You know, like fitting me into a bra itself is a difficult situation. And making me feel comfortable to last at least 7 or 8 hours. So it's quite complicated.
What care are you taking so that it looks convincing?
Oh, we've taken all care for that. It's been done once, so we're more confident. We would have humbled ourselves to say we hope it comes out all right. But now we know it has come out all right, and there's no reason why it shouldn't come out all right again.
Why is it the makeup of an old woman? Why not a young girl?
To keep the carnal stuff out of it. To keep the carnal stuff out of it so that more families could enjoy it.
Are you making a comeback to Bollywood? Are you trying to make your presence felt in Bollywood?
It's not an attempt to make your presence felt or anything. And if you ask me, honestly, I never left. It's people who've been talking about leaving and coming. I just was doing Tamil films. Now I'm doing a straight Hindi film.
How has the industry treated you? I mean, the Bollywood?
They've been kind. I mean, they've been kind even in spite of my films having failed. They liked me, and that gave me a hope. If at all you call it coming back, I come back because there are still people who love me.
Can you tell us something more about the film?
Not much. Not much. I don't think I should be talking too much about it. In these days of satellite exposure, I mean, people might get satiated with what little has.
You have been taking a lot of interest in the technical aspects as well, say choreography, various other...
I started from there. I started as an assistant choreographer, assistant director, assistant cameraman, and then only became an actor. So that's why I'm harking back to my past.
What are the roles you're playing in this film also, apart from the main lead in the technical department?
Nothing. I was involved in writing the story and the screenplay in the original. And probably that could be. The producer is one of the things. There's an online producer, Mr. Saab John, and Kamal Films, my company, is producing.
Can we say that you have been inspired by Mrs. Doubtfire? Or?
Yes, but that's where it stops, because people keep calling it Doubtfire, and not that... if it's a straight-out plagiarism, then we'll be scared to admit it in public. But we were inspired by not only Doubtfire, Tootsie, and various other films. There's another film where Scene Pen and De Niro or somebody played a female. Many have played a female guard. The basic inspiration comes from my guru, Mr. T.K. Shanmugam, after whom the original Tamil version was named. He was the inspiration. I've seen him as a kid perform as a lady on stage. And now, being his chela, I thought I should emulate him in one way or other.
You have been known as the innovative actor. What else will you be innovating in the future? Your dream project?
Well, every project is a dream till it materializes. And I am planning something else too. I'm planning a period film, 18th century piece. That I'll talk about it later. This is not the venue and the time to talk about.
Has your career gone the way it has gone?
No, never the way I wanted to. It's taken its own course, and I'm just going along with it as it takes me. Left to me, I have grandiose plans.
When will you play the next normal man's role?
Here I am playing it. Here I am. I'm also playing that in this film itself. And probably the one after this.
What about ladies only? You will be talking about it later sometime? Maybe
definitely I'll be talking about it. And that's actually the film which is going to be coming before this also, where I play a very important role, and it's being advertised. It's being advertised as Kamal Haasan in a deadly role. I hope it's deadly enough. I get embarrassed when they say that. So let's see. And it's being directed by Mr. Dinesh Shalendra.
It must have been a very difficult role to play, a dead man.
We'll not talk about it now. And anyway, the film is a very novel idea for the present day audience. Not that it's never been done before, but Ladies Only has a lot of humor and a statement, a subtle, subcutaneous statement to make about lady.
Why has this film been called Chikni Chachi?
You don't like the name?
Very good title. Oh, very much catchy title.
Okay, there you go.
देखिए कमल साहब, मतलब बहुत लोगों को नहीं मालूम है, हिंदी जानने वाले जो वहाँ बेचते हैं ना, very good title.
Okay.
Hindi is my mother tongue. I don't understand what it is.
Okay, so that's it. Well, it's Gulzar Saab's idea. He felt strongly about it. And I'm not a pundit, and it's not my mother tongue, so I thought I'd leave it to the people who know best about it. Going to the very, very bottom line situation, it's a super hit there. It's crossed Hindustani, that's Indian in certain areas in collection. So we thought that that's a good enough point to, and good enough reason to start making a film.
So how different will this Hindi film be from the Tamil version?
It'll be different because technically we're spending more time, and technicians are, it's an ad filmmaker who's making the film. So there'll be that gloss added on, which was not there in the Tamil version. And the music is by a popular music director, and the dialogues are written by a person whom I respect a lot, and most of the industry would agree with me.
And who from the Tamil version will be there in this film? Is the heroine Tabu, or was it someone else?
No, except me and Mr. Nazar. I don't think there's anybody else from the original cast.
And tell us something about your role and the kind of get-up that you adopted for the Tamil version.
Well, it's different. I'm playing the heroine of the film, and also as well as the hero. I mean, with due respects to Tabuji. I mean, I always tell, even in the first version, that when they asked about what their role was, I told them that it's that of the second heroine, and the first heroine being me.
How close is this to Doubtfire?
Very far away.
Why is it that...
People like to call it because it's easier to say an address rather than... Yes, it has a little bit of... Why? It could even be closer to Kramer versus Kramer, and Tootsie, and Doubtfire, and a few films. I mean, yes, we do get inspired by it, but it's not a complete remake of an English film. If at all it's a remake of Avai Shanmukhi, which is the Tamil version.
Tell us about how you worked on this character and your get-up, and since you get into like makeup and things.
Yes, I think as I was saying to somebody else before, it is more than 50% to the makeup and costume. And yes, the actor also gets his percentage of credit, but I think that's what it is. And probably the patience, I have to have about 90% of the patience.
It takes a very long time to get
about 5 hours to get into it.
And so can you tell us, I mean, like even in Hindustani, you had this particular look which you worked very hard. So to what extent do you think get-ups and things like that work?
No, it's just that it so happened that it comes on the wake of, in the wake of Hindustani. Otherwise, I was feeling a bit embarrassed about doing 2 prosthetic makeup films back to back, but it so happened, and I thought that need not be sort of a complex to begin with, and you can go ahead and do it. If you really feel it's right, go ahead and do it. That's what I told myself, and that's what I'm doing now. And as far as prosthetic makeup goes, that's where the similarity ends. That's a very stern, stone-faced man. This lady is very different kind of a lady. She's got more colors and more womanly wiles. And she's a very dexterous person.
You don't have a flair for comedy, so this will be an out-and-out comedy. What do you think?
Yeah, the original version is a rip-roaring comedy. And I'm sure with the kind of people who are supporting me in the making of it, it's going to turn out into equally rip-roaring comedy. I've been preparing for this role for 25 years, I think. 25, 30 years, yes.
As it is, Hindi film is being named
It can be the same subject. It could be Doubtfire, but not our film.
not from Avashan movie.
Not our film. Not Chachi.
Avashan movie.
25 years, but how? Can you...
See, I was I was a dancer on stage, and this fly is troubling me. It's okay. So I learned Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, and there was a time in an emergency where I had to play a woman's part on the stage, and it became a hit, and I continued for about a month doing that till the lady got back on stage. I used to do the Lavani, and strangely and coincidentally, it also happened in Bombay. So that's where I prepared for it, perhaps.
So you stayed away from Hindi films, and now we are doing Ladies Only and Chikni Chachi.
Yes.
Any particular reason for staying away?
For staying away, yes, there wasn't much of a choice. The choices were not left to me. I'm happy that you said staying away instead of saying leaving or being sent out. It sounds better this way. So I stayed away because there wasn't much of a choice. There wasn't much of a kind ear to listen to me. So I thought I'd go and do things where I can do a bit of experimenting. When I say a bit, I really mean a bit, nothing more. And also be accepted by the people. Too many pundits makes me nervous. So I kept away from the pundits and went about and did my little mistakes and things and had to prove myself. And now it's the reason is, let me not be very sentimental and very false about it. The reason why I'm coming back is more audience, more money.
Has it something to do with the success of Hindustani too?
Yes, more audience, more money.